Good afternoon. Huimida. This is Regina, and I'm back with more Taekwondo Tuesday. And let's start with our standard warm-up. Start with our necks. And counting in Korean. Hana, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. Yes, Nate?
That's fine, just checking.
Well, I can kind of see the volume bar on the thing. I have OBS open. Okay, and then half circle neck rotations. Hana, two, set, net, dasa, yasa, ilgap, yoro, aho, and yo. And half circle towards the back. Be careful. Han, two. Oh, that was weird. Set, net, dasa, yasa, ilgap. Yeah, be careful. Yoro, aho, and yo. Actually, I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna pull the neck forward a little bit. And actually, there's this kind of like neck stretch. All right, and shoulder rotations, 10 forward, 10 back, again, counting in Korean. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열, and backwards. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. Sorry. Arms out, and we're going to do windmills. Forward, 10 forward, and then 10 backwards. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And 10 backwards. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. Arms in front. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. That's one set. We're going to do 5 sets. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 둘. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Ooh. Okay. Arms like this. A little bit in front of you. We're going to do torso twist. Okay. So, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. And just try to twist. Really just twist at the waist. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷 is one set. We're going to do 5 sets. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 둘. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 넷. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. And just thinking there are other exercises. Okay, hip, waist rotations. Did I have 5 counterclockwise, 5 clockwise. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and 다섯. And the other way. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and 다섯. And hip rotations. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. And the other way. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and 다섯. Feet together. Feet together. Bend the knees. We're going to do 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and a gentle stretch backwards, not too hard, and that's 1 set. Hana, tool, set, net. Hana, tool, set, net, tool. Hana, tool, set, net, set. Hana, tool, set, net, net. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Knees together again. Bend your knees. We're going to do knee rotations, counterclockwise and then clockwise. Count of 5. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa, and switch. Hana, tool, set, net, and dasa, and straighten. Next, ankle rotations. So my left foot, rotate outwards, rotate inwards, 5 count. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Other foot, outwards. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. Inwards. Hana, tool, set, net, dasa. And that should be enough. And last one. Loosen up the wrists. You can just do this. There are other things you can do. And shake them out. Shake out your wrists. And keep your hands loose. And maybe shake out your fingers as well. And there are also stuff you can do with your feet if you find that your toes don't have flexibility. You can shake out our feet first of all, right? And shake out the other foot, right? And then, so if you find you have problems bending your toes, you can stretch doing that. Try to do that. Both feet should be able to stand like that. You can practice grabbing things with your toes, pulling them back, pointing them forward, pull back, point forward. Same thing with the other one. Point forward, pull back, point forward, pull back. Something like this. Okay. And I'm going to do a bit of kicking today. We're going to do the wall kicking exercises that I showed to people in previous streams. So we're going to warm up. Again, we're going to do a little bit of warm up with just the stretch kick. And very gently, I'm going to go into a sparring stance, just like this. Sparring stance like this. You can't see that from there. It's like this. So just showing you all the different angles for the sparring stance. So we're going to do an stretching kick warm up. So in sparring stance, then bring your fists up like about that, like that. This should be about shoulder height. Bring your fists out, and this is your standard sparring stance for Taekwondo, and you should be able to bounce on your toes like that pretty easily. So it should be fairly relaxed, your normal relaxed position. And we're going to practice doing our stretch kicks this way, and I'm going to kick with my right leg, the leg that's in the back. So stretch kick, straight leg up, straight leg back down. And the purpose of the stretch kick really is it's a good warm-up kick. It's basically just a good warm-up exercise. We don't really use it for much in Taekwondo in terms of like self-defense or sparring or anything, but it helps warm up your leg muscles, and also maybe gives you a gentle stretch. So don't try to stretch too much because you're not warm yet, but do a gentle stretch maybe if you feel like your muscles are a little stiff. Okay, and we're going to do 10 each leg and counting in Korean. So hana, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯. Hi Mike. 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And switch sides. Sorry, hold on. Let me just check the chat quickly. Hey, Gunslinger. Good afternoon. Hey, you made it for the stream. How are you today? How is it in Brazil? Okay, switch sides. Do the sparring stance again in this side. And some more stretch kicks. 10 on the left leg. Yeah, okay, ready? And we're counting in Korean. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And that's our warm up for now. Take a quick break. Hey KP, how's it going? How are you? It's alright in here. On the other hand, and being unproductive. Why so unproductive? Well, I don't know, I kind of get it. It's that time of the year where I just want to play games right now because it's almost Christmas. It's almost the holiday season and I just want to sit down and play some games. Hey Andy, how's it going? You're a red belt? Yeah, let's see if people can guess what belt I am. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, just to grab some water. And how are you today, KP? How are you, Andy? /TKD. Sorry, yeah, command TKD. That looks like a 3rd degree black belt, but I don't know, very close. I don't know. Nate just pulled out the bio. Let's go back up. Actually, wait, is this crooked? It is a little crooked today, actually, Nate. That's bad. I don't like it when it's crooked. Does it look crooked still? Maybe I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way. No. There we go. Okay, now it's not crooked. I thought it was straight, but sometimes it looks crooked. Okay, so we're going to work on side kicks and hook kicks today. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to work on balance and strengthening and movement. Well, not so much movement, but balance and strengthening for our side kicks and our hook kicks. Okay, actually, let me scroll back and check the chat quickly. Actually, I should just use my Chromebook. Unproductive. Yes, ma'am. I'm a bit bored. Isn't it Taco Tuesday? No Taco Tuesday. Taekwondo Tuesday. Maybe tacos later. Nah, I don't feel like having tacos actually. So side kicks. I've demonstrated side kicks before. We're going to work on improving our side kicks. So basic side kick, you come up. So back in our sparring stance here, with the basic side kick, you come up, bring your knee up first, right? So you bring your knee up, then you turn, and then you do the kick. That's your basic side kick, okay? And same with the other side, same thing. Bring your knee up, turn, and then side kick, and down. Okay, so, but how to do these kicks without exactly falling over all the time? You want, when you use the wall to help you gain your balance, eventually you'll find that when you're doing the kicks without the wall to support you, it'll be easier to do the kicks without you falling over. I mean, balance comes and goes. It's a great way to help you get your balance. And also, when you use the wall to help you, you'll get used to putting all your body weight on the supporting leg so that you can do kicks. Actually, should be like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some kicking drills using the wall as our support. And we're going to focus on executing the movement of the side kick, right? We're going to focus on executing the movement of the side kick properly, and we're going to do basically what would be a full powered side kick position, because for most of the Taekwondo, like in sparring competitions, you can do, half half little side kicks or something maybe, or you can do, most often you'll see roundhouses in competitions where they don't actually turn all the way. But if you want to build power in your kicks, what you want to do is you want to turn your supporting leg all the way over so that the heel points to the front. So you want to do things like that. And you want to turn all the way over. And I'm not exactly all the way over. Could be better, wasn't trying very hard. But same thing with the other leg. If I was doing a roundhouse kick or a side kick and I want to turn all the way over for more power, you go all the way. Okay? So actually, last time I did them, I was using this wall last time. Should I do this wall and then the other wall? I can do both. I don't know. We'll use this wall. See, this one, you'll actually be able to see, I don't know if they can see the alignment better this way. No, maybe the other way. You can see the alignment better. So, I'm going to use this wall actually. We'll use this wall. So, let's do side kicks. Okay, I'm going to do side kicks first with my right leg, right? So what I want you to do is, I'm going to be about 2 shoulder widths away from the wall. You can put one hand on the wall like that. Don't put all your weight onto the wall. You got to get used to having the weight on your supporting leg. So just use the wall as just backup support in case you feel like you're going to lose your balance. So, supporting leg heel, pointing towards the front. Get ready for your side kick. This should be your side kick position, your chamber for your side kick basically. And for some reason, why does it feel like my leg is crooked? It should be more like that. Right, so it should be more like that. And also for the side kick, you want the blade of the foot to make contact with your target. Not the flat part of your foot for the side kick, but the blade of the foot. So what you want to do is kind of angle your foot a little bit. I'm not sure if everyone can see that. Yeah. So you want to angle your foot like this. It's kind of hard to demonstrate. It's easier to demonstrate that on the floor actually. So back to our wall, get in our side kick position, right? And get your foot ready for the side kick, right? That's the problem, my knees come up. Did you notice? It's coming up. Okay, so, and we're gonna do 10 using the wall as support, right? And you're gonna do as much power, put as much power as you can into the kick going forward. And the power for a side kick comes mostly from your hips and your butt, okay? Not from the knee. If you're using your knee, if you're using the muscles around the knee to put power in your side kick, that's wrong. You won't really feel anything. You gotta use your hip and your butt muscles to do it. So if you go straight out, that's the motion you want, and you want your blade foot out. Okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna do 10 as quickly as I can, and everyone can do 10. I'm gonna count in Korean. Hana, 2, set, net, and I'm falling over. Too far from the wall actually. Dasa, yesa, ilga, yoro, ahop, and yo. And I'm losing my balance today. Okay, next side. Actually might have been too far from the wall. Next one. Switch to the other leg. More side kick. So same thing. We want to point our heel all the way over. And we want to get into our side kick chamber. And my foot does not want to do this blade thing for some reason. And get your foot into the blade position. So, again, 10 side kicks, and you want to do that. Also, more advanced in Taekwondo, you kind of want to hold the side kick out for maybe a split second before you rechamber. So, counting in Korean, I'm going to do 10 more. Hana, 2, set, net, dasa, yesa, ilga, yoro, ahop, yo, and down. Okay, so that's side kick drills using the wall to help you with your balance. And I'm going to take a quick break because I'm out of breath today for some reason. Lurk, all right, KB. Andy, why are you bored? You can do some Taekwondo with me, Andy. Come on. Wow, I'm a little tired today. Alright, so that's our side kick. Actually, I'm not surprised I'm tired. I stayed up too late on, I think I stayed up too late on Sunday night. I stayed up a little late yesterday night too. You don't have enough space. Aww. Couple square meters? Yeah, I don't have enough space to do everything I'd like to do actually. I would love to do patterns, but they probably require at least 3 square meters. I should just review them, but they won't look really good on stream because I won't be able to do the full stances and proper techniques for the patterns because I have limited space. So, wow, I am actually tired. And I'm a little out of breath. So, next kick will be the hook kick. And I think I demonstrated the hook kick a couple of streams ago. We didn't really work on the hook kick very much, but basic premise of the hook kick is you execute the hook kick like a side kick, but slightly to the side. And usually a hook kick is a high kick, so it's usually with a hook kick you execute it about head height. So you're going to execute a side kick to the side of the head, and the hook part comes across like this. So basically your leg comes out like this and then hooks across. So actually your foot and then hooks across. And same with the other leg. The other leg will come straight out like that and then hook across. And I catch my breath and I will demonstrate a hook kick. Unfortunately, at some point when we get to really advanced Taekwondo kicks, I won't be able to do some of them. I know how they're done, I know how to teach them, I know how it's executed. I can't physically do some of them because I don't have enough, I just don't have enough muscle strength to do some of the jumping required. But I do know how they're done and I do know how they're executed, and I also know what looks good in a kick. You can't you kind of develop that judgment after doing martial arts for so many years. You can see the fine differences when people are executing techniques and which one is better and which one isn't. Anyway, so hook kick. Hook kick. So I'm going to do a hook kick with my back leg, which is the right leg. So like I said, we come up and we do a side kick across and hook across. That's the basics of it. Same with the other foot. This one, same thing. Come up, do a side kick, and you hook across. Now, of course, I'm doing it mid-height right now, not high. But if you want to do high, you're going to have to lean back a bit to get height if you don't have the flexibility as well. But generally, I think you still lean back to maintain the balance. Right, Nate? So, hook kick with this. You want to do that. That was kind of a bad one, actually. I didn't like that one. Hook kick with this one, like that. And you should be able to hear a little bit of my uniform making a little sound like that when you do your techniques. So we're going to practice the motion of the hook kick using the wall. I'm not going to do these ones super fast today. I'm a little out of practice. It's been probably like 5 years since I was officially training in Taekwondo, and I haven't had much time to practice it on my own since then, really. So we're going to do hook kicks using the wall, same thing like with the side kick, and I'm going to do the motion a little slower so that people understand what the motion of the hook kick should be like. And I'm going to I'll probably keep it mid-height for now. If you can go for high, go for high. You can also do a hook kick low, which actually is really like a sweep kick on the ground. If you go low with a hook kick, if you end up going low with a hook kick, it's more like a sweep. like a foot sweep. Sorry, sweep. Foot sweep, right? Foot sweep. Alright, okay, so practice hook kicks this way. And I'm going to do this one. And remember, again, our heels should be pointing forward. And so we're going to get ready for our chamber, which is the same chamber as the side kick, right? And you're going to do a side kick to the side, just slightly to the side, and then point your toes for the hook part. Now, for the hook kick part, so you got that chamber, extend, do the side kick to the side, right? Point your toes. Keep your legs straight while you do this part. Don't bend your leg. You don't bend your leg to do a hook kick. You actually keep your legs straight. And I think a lot of people might misunderstand that part. So you're gonna do a side kick. You don't have to do a proper side kick with the blade foot here. Just wanna do side kick and then hook. And the motion, again, you're gonna use your hip and your butt muscles around here, around the hip area, to get that power in the hook. So you're gonna go like that. You're gonna pull. So you wanna pull across. And on the other side, same thing. Same thing. I'm gonna get this heel pointing to the front, go into your side kick chamber, side kick to the side, point your toes, and pull the leg across for the hook motion. And the whole thing is actually, I guess we call it a hook kick, Nate, because the whole motion just makes a hook, right? Yeah, I do think some people are deceived by the name of it, and they think you have to bend the leg for the hook. Just totally not right. Keep your leg straight after the extension. So again, extend and pull across. And like I said before, muscles back here around this area, apply the muscles here is where you get using the muscles here is where you get the power in the kick, right? I am so out of breath, I don't know why. Tiredness, people, tiredness. It's that time of the year, and I want to play games. But I also love Taekwondo. It may be a little painful, but I still love it. And I may be tired now, but after doing Taekwondo for an hour or so, I'm going to want to do more. Don't know why that is, Nate. Is it the adrenaline? Endomorphins? Endorphins? Endorphins. I don't know English anymore, okay? Don't laugh at me, Nate. Endorphins.
I don't know English anymore either, so
yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, so we're going to try and do 10 hook kicks off of the wall. And remember, we're using the wall so that we don't fall over, and it'll help us get used to putting the weight on our supporting leg, and our supporting leg will build up strength that way for it. So I go, let's just do this slowly. 1, 2, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilgo, yoro, aho, and you. And yes, if it wasn't clear, you are basically slapping your target with the bottom of your foot with the hook kick. Nate likes to joke and call it a foot slap. You like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, hook kick on the other leg. So you do want to apply a bit of power on the extension, but you also want to make sure that when you apply the power on the extension, you apply more power when you do the pulling across. Like that. Oh, last count, is that 2? Set. How am I falling over? Net. Dasa. Yasa. Ilgo. Yoro. Aho. And yo. And down. I'm going to take another break again. And as before, anybody who's advanced in Taekwondo, Feel free to do any of these drills, exercises at your own speed, but remember to do proper technique, because if you get used to doing the proper technique, the full technique with the full motion, when it comes to self-defense situation or just in your sparring competitions, you'll find that when you don't do full power, even the other kicks will still feel fairly strong. So that's the reason why we do full motion with as much power as you can, so your body gets used to doing it. If you never do it, your body's not used to doing it and won't do it. It's as simple as that. Right, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay. Everyone breathe. And like I said, I'm actually tired today, probably not enough sleep, so I am a little tired today. But those kicks actually feel good. I had almost forgotten what it felt like to do proper kicks with like enough power in them. Alright, so I am going to teach everyone a new kick today. We're going to teach everyone one of my favorite kicks, actually. It's one of my favorite kicks for self-defense and for sparring. However, I don't recommend doing this kick if you're not really good at it yet. You should be fairly good at it. The problem is that if you're not that good at it and you spin with the kick, a lot of times you may be foretelling what you're going to do, and it's not really as effective in either self-defense or sparring situations. I just realized it's been half a year since I felt like, oh, that's cool, Andy. Yes, I am. Actually, I'm almost at my 1 year anniversary. And thank you for following, Andy. Oh, January. Wait, no, June. Wait, June. Yeah. June to December. Hydrate. I did hydrate. Oh, wait, you didn't see me drink water. Okay, you gotta be careful, though, with the hydration when you exercise, is that you can overhydrate, which could cause you to throw up. So I will take a sip because you didn't see me hydrate. I'm mostly just out of breath. Okay, there you go. You can clear that if you want, or I'll do it. Alright, so my favorite kick in Taekwondo, aside from all the nice little fancy kicks like 540 spinning hook kick, 720 spinning hook kick, and tornado kick, those are pretty fancy kicks, they're pretty advanced. You gotta get used to how your body moves on the floor. So you gotta get used to doing turns. You gotta get used to moving in three-dimensional space. Now you're thinking, this is a no-brainer. We all move in three-dimensional space every day. We walk around. However, everyone starts Taekwondo with 2 left feet and 2 left hands, unless they have some other movement training in some other martial art or even ballet or figure skating. I think I've met both, actually. I've met both somebody who did ballet and somebody who did figure skating. I met a male figure skater who got the spins right. His kicks were pretty shoddy at the beginning. We had to fix his kicks. After that, he got a lot better. Ballet dancer, same thing. She got the spins right, the turning down, turning 360, not a problem for her. She needed to develop more power for her kicks, which is something they don't really show you in ballet. Ballet is more, for girls, ballet is all more smooth and subtle in a way. There's no real power applied to anything you see in ballet. So we had to get her to apply power into her kicks to actually make it look more like Taekwondo. But like I said, again, doing movement drills were pretty easy for her. She got the idea. She didn't spin, she turned, turn, kick. She got that idea. So, but those are pretty advanced in Taekwondo, because what we're doing is we're concentrating on the kicks, we're concentrating on the basic martial arts techniques. Spins we'll add later. They are fun, they're fancy, they are kind of my favorite kicks, yes. but they're also something you kind of have to build up to, even for me, since I've been out of practice for about 5 years. So the next favorite kick the favorite kick I have in Taekwondo that's actually considered a basic kick in Taekwondo, as in basic as a color belt, not a black belt technique, but as a color belt technique, is a back kick. Now, a back kick in Taekwondo is a pretty powerful kick. I said before that the side kick was the strongest kick in Taekwondo. Side kick is the strongest kick in Taekwondo at the beginning level, because all the power comes from the hips and the buttocks when you apply the power. Back kick is also very powerful, but the difference is whereas a side kick, you're facing your opponent straight on and you do the kick. Back kick, you're going to turn away temporarily from your opponent and then do a kick, and that's why it's called a back kick. So in our sparring stance, so again, back in our little sparring stance like this, right? The way you do a back kick is you want to turn. You don't want to spin and do the kick. That's wrong. So I'm not going to even show you the kick right now. I'm going to break this down. So for a back kick, first thing you want to do is you want to turn, right? You want to turn to approximately something like that. You want to lift the leg up. You want to lift this leg up, and then you want to extend. But when you do the extension, remember to look at your target again. So you are going to turn, right? Keep an eye on your target. So you have your back to your heart. Keep an eye on your target, your opponent in front of you, and then look over the other shoulder, right? And then, at the same time, you're going to lift and execute. That's the way to do a back kick. Do not do this stuff. Don't do that. You're not looking at your opponent. You're not looking at your target. Don't do that. Chances are, if you try to do a back kick like that in a self-defense situation or a sparring situation, you could easily fall over. You lose track of your target opponent, and that's problematic. Always want to keep your eye on your target. So the same thing on the other side. Oops, did it the wrong way. Sparring stance. You want to turn, look over your shoulder, execute the kick, and down, and come back. That's your proper back kick. So, like with all the other kicks, we are going to work on improving these kicks and these techniques. Again, using the wall, we're going to do these drills on the wall. So, back kick. The chamber for a back kick, as you saw, was you turn away from your target and opponent, and you're facing towards the back, right? Which means you're supporting leg again, heels pointing towards the front. Look over your shoulder though. But for the chamber for the back kick is pretty much the same as the chamber for a front snap kick, but you're turned away from your opponent, so you just bring your knee up like this, right? And then to execute the kick, you just extend straight back. And you're hitting with the heel of your foot. So again, it's just straight back, like that. And all the power comes from here. It comes from right here, in your hip and butt muscles. So again, straight back and down. Other leg, back kick, same thing. Supporting leg heel towards the front. Bring your knee up. So we're facing away from your target. Look over your shoulder. Look over the shoulder, the same shoulder as the leg you're kicking on, not the other one. Right? So you look over your shoulder, right? Bring your knee up for the chamber and just extend straight up.
Yeah.
And down.
Melon says, well, teach me another fighting style.
Wait, who? Melon! Hi, Melon. How's it going? How are you? How are you lurking and working? Melon, I get the feeling you know how to spar. Nobody be messing with Melon. And Andy says hi, Melon. In case people don't know, Melon also streams, and she was learning Spanish. I haven't seen her do Duolingo in a while. She was learning Spanish, reviewing French, and learning a little bit of German, but she also streams a hell of a lot of games. in case people know. So you're gonna go check her out. I've sparred before competitively, but long. Which one? Taekwondo or karate or something else? I hated doing sparring competitions actually. It's boring. I hate doing tournaments. You have to get back to Duolingo, that's alright. I think Duolingo might be there for a while. Yes, Diablo 3. I was watching your Diablo 3. How is Diablo 3? And did they make it better? Because I heard when it came out, people weren't happy with it. Karate? Karate? Karate-do? Actually, I know a girl, she ended up moving, I think, did she move to Australia or something, Nate? Can't remember. Lakshmi, she ended up moving to Australia afterwards when she met her fiance, husband now. I think she ended up moving to Australia, but she couldn't find a Taekwondo dojang, so she ended up going to a karate dojo instead. And this is after she got her black belt too. And it was like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No, she's gonna show the karate students how it's done. No offense, Melon. I like all martial arts. I just think, well, you know what? It depends on the school you go to. I got lucky. I went to some pretty good Taekwondo schools. I had to be with my brothers because we always ended up as. Oh, you had to fight. You had to spar with your brothers. You're slaying demons in Diablo. Well, of course, it's Diablo. Oh no, where is that going? Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm quite heavily invested in Taekwondo, and I actually was supposed to open my own school someday. Someday. We'll see. Maybe. So far, probably it's a good idea. I didn't open up my own school because I would have had to shut it down due to COVID, and that probably would have been a big loss for me. So streaming seems to be the answer right now. Hello, Sensei. Oh, Sensei. Melon's the Sensei. She did karate. In Korean, you would call me Sabanim properly. Fancy seeing me here. So, in case people didn't get it, Sabun Nim is the Korean. But no one's called me that yet. Well, actually, no, I don't remember. Well, we used English. Actually, we used English at the dojang I was at. So they would just say, bow to Master so-and-so. They would just say, well, my last name is Chow, so they would say, bow to Master Chow or something, or bow to the masters. So, I have much more to learn. Melon, how far did you get in karate, actually? Stop following me. Oh, I think you followed each other. Anyways, it's nice to have you guys here. So let's practice some back kicks. I'm going to practice some back kicks on the wall. I was only demonstrating it, so we're going to do 10 back kicks each leg. Okay? And yes, I'm actually tired today, and I was out of breath a few minutes ago, so I'm going to get out of breath again. So, back kicks. Supporting leg heel, pointing towards the front, right? Chamber up for the back kick, and just extend straight back is what we're going to do. And counting in Korean, I'm going to do 10 of these. And I'm just going to use the wall because my balance is really shot today for some reason. So, hana, 2, it's bad, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilga, yura, ahop, and yo. And switch to the other leg. Listening? Okay, I'll catch up with chat after this one. Alright, and the other leg, same thing. Supporting leg heel pointing towards the front. Chamber, so we're facing the wall, but keep an eye on your target and opponent. And chamber, and then extend straight back for the back kick. And apply some power coming from your butt and hips. Hana, 2, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilga, yura, ahop, and yo, and down. Okay. I'm out of breath again. There's something wrong with me. Damn this COVID and lockdown thing. Man. Only to brown belt. Brown belt's pretty advanced actually. You're getting pretty close to black belt there. Then I moved away from the school. You gotta start working on my Korean again. Yes, the real reason why I started learning Korean actually. I did start learning Korean because of Taekwondo everywhere. I do need to work on my cardio, but I haven't really gone out for a run. But again, it was a long time ago. I would like to find another school, but a lot of them aren't serious, and I want to train people money. Yeah, I understand. I was at a school that was sort of like that, but they also had good instructors. So when I was done when I finished my contract, and I actually had a contract, and I pretty much finished the contract when I got to black belt. They basically offered, he wanted me, the guy at that dojang wanted me to teach, to volunteer to teach 5 days a week there. But I would get free training. Either way, I think I got free training because I told him I'd think about it. And then I ended up going to another school afterwards and actually teaching more at the other school. I do need to work on my cardio. It's pretty bad. Sad truth. Yeah, big sad. It's hard. It is hard. Actually, before I moved, one of the things I left behind in Toronto, obviously, was the dojang that I was at. The story is, okay, I started at one dojang, and it was run by a very old grandmaster, actually, who ended up dying, and the school changed hands and passed on to somebody else. And somebody else was actually in charge of administration of the school, but they had some really good instructors there, some South Korean instructors, instructors that were from South Korea originally and had migrated to Toronto to teach Taekwondo. And one of the instructors, later on, I ended up going to his school, and he was actually my first instructor and actually my last instructor. So it kind of came full circle. Yes. So after I got my first Dan black belt, I was at his school for the rest of my Taekwondo career, which is pretty much most of it. I mean, I spent 2 to 3 years to get first Dan, but then after that, I was at his school, which was significantly a lot more time than my first school. And so it kind of went full circle. He gave me my fourth Dan. And so anyways, when I was living in Toronto, I went to talk to him, and he's like, I basically asked him if he knew of any good schools here in the Netherlands. He said, go open your own school. Which is actually really encouraging to hear from him because he's highly respected. And actually when he left the first school I was at, he left that first school to open up his own school. When he left the school, he actually took a lot of students with him. I mean, not asking them to go with him. They kind of all volunteered to go with him because he actually was a competitor as well. He was basically a 4-time world champion in Taekwondo over the years, and he was teaching a lot of the competitors and helping them get to Olympic level. So that was the story of that. So I do miss him. I miss the Taekwondo community I had back home. He was very supportive of me, even though I was not into competition. No jumping jacks today. I'm already doing Taekwondo. Plus, actually, I don't have jumping jacks on my stream. I'm sorry, Tony, I don't. And I really don't want to do too much jumping because of my neighbors downstairs. I'm not sure how much of the jumping noise will travel through the floor to my neighbor below. So, then again, it might be some payback, Nate. Wait, snickering. Damn, yes, maybe we'll see. We'll see. I need more students. I knew some people who went to Olympic stuff, and I knew somebody who got to World Championships. Whether or not she tried for the Olympic team, I don't remember. The rules for getting on a Taekwondo Olympic team is quite different than getting to the World Championship. There's so many things you have to do. It's all based on a point system, based on how many competitions you do, and you have to do official competitions like Pan Am Games, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's complicated. I would never do it. It's too it's not because it's complicated. It's just I'm not a really competitive person. So for me, I got bored doing Taekwondo competitions, and like I seriously got bored. I'd rather go study a language. But the problem with sitting around waiting to do a competition, you sit there for like basically all day waiting for your turn to compete for like 6 minutes, but you can't really focus on studying either, and you can't really focus on reading a book, so you end up just like getting up and down, doing like trying to warm up so you don't get too stiff or whatever, and then you go eat, and then you just it's just kind of like I was bored out of my mind. As for some people really love competition. That's fine too. Just was never for me. I knew a lot of competitors, great people actually. I do know a little bit about how competitions work. I do know a little bit about. I do have a significant amount of competitive style training in Taekwondo, because I feel like it's important to get. To be well-rounded in the martial arts, not just do one thing. And I actually knew somebody who was really good in Taekwondo, and she ended up quitting because she didn't want to do sparring at all. Like not even sparring practice. She just did not want to do sparring practice. And honestly, I think she was better than me in Taekwondo. And if she stuck with it, she probably would have been a really, really good instructor. But unfortunately, she didn't agree with even doing a little bit of sparring practice. And so she ended up quitting before she got to black belt. I don't even think she got to black belt. She ended up quitting or something. You can meditate and focus. That is time to become one with yourself. That is true. There's no bueno then, but that's good then. You know what you like. Yeah, I fully support competitors actually. If that's your goal, for people that want to compete in martial arts, if that's your goal, I can always help them out. Like I said, the Taekwondo the Taekwondo master I was last trained with was a competitor originally, but he respected the fact that I was more into doing Taekwondo patterns, which is like Tai Chi patterns. I was more into that kind of internal focus with the martial arts. He totally respected that. In fact, they wanted me to compete with Taekwondo patterns instead of with the sparring. And I said, no, I don't want to. That was nice of them, though. I'm just not a competitive person. I like the martial arts. So what can I say? I just like it. But I think it's great. If people want to do something, then go for it. Okay, so we did some kicks. We did some side kick practice. Let me just refresh. We did some side kick practice. We practiced some hook kicks, and we did some back kicks. Now, I'm not going to do these today really, but with the back kick, once you get a little better at the back kick, you can do the spinning hook kick, which is basically in essence doing the back kick and doing the back kick to the side, kind of like the side kick, and then bring your leg across. And that's a spinning hook kick. So you go turn and across. And don't bend your leg actually until after you're all the way through. I bent my leg too early. And that's actually a bad spinning hook kick. But anyways, that will be later. I'm not going to do that today. Let's switch and do a little bit of punching. Should we do some strikes? Punching. Let's do some punching drills. I'm going to do some punching drills, or actually let's do some knife hand strikes. So last stream I was showing everyone how to do some knife hand strikes, and I'm going to practice knife hand strikes using footwork drills. So we're going to be just moving down the floor like this, right? So knife hand strike. First of all, I'm going to demonstrate the knife hand to everyone. Knife hand. So knife hand, open palm. Open hand strikes. So open hand, right? So what you want to do is keep your fingers together. Curl up the tips of your fingers like that, right? Keep them tight, and put your thumb next to the side there, and your thumb is actually applying a bit more support to your whole knife hand. So you want to keep this tense when you actually hit the target with your knife hand. And that's your knife hand. Same moving on this side. Here's your knife hand, open palm, right? Put your fingers together, squeeze your fingers together, curl the tips up, tuck in your thumb, keep it tight, and that's your knife hand. And when you hit your target, you want to hit your target with this part of your knife hand, not here, not anywhere along the fingers, but around here, like the base here, around your wrist area. That's how you're going to hit your target with a knife hand. And same here. And I can illustrate that. So, like that. So you see this part, my fingers are not contacting the target, right? It's just the wrist. So you want just the wrist right there, about there. That's your knife hand. Do you know the 5-step death punch? We don't have one in Taekwondo. We have some more advanced, we have a few other advanced techniques that I'm not going to show. I'm going to show the basic techniques first. So what is the 5-step death punch? So that's your basic knife hand. And also, if you can do a knife hand this way, same thing. You want to hit the target the same way. How am I going to hold this for that one? So you want to hit the target this way, like this, same thing, like that, for the knife hand. And I just remembered a more advanced technique actually. There's also a ridge hand, which I actually started to like doing a ridge hand more than a knife hand. Anyway, so that's your knife hand. And I'm going to practice doing some knife hands. Yeah, no. See, they didn't do Taekwondo and Kill Bill. That's something else entirely. Though, the majority of us, there's that one scene in Kill Bill where it goes back to one of her flashbacks, and she was training in martial arts. And, so she was training in martial arts, and she was asleep one night, and then she accidentally punched the cement wall. Yeah. I think a lot of us could kind of sympathize with that. You're just sleeping and all of a sudden you do something. Not that I ever actually did that. I don't sleep next to a cement wall, but it's kind of like one of those things that just kind of, I don't know. You train so much and then you go to sleep and then you feel like you're fighting something or whatever. I used to kick in my sleep actually. Right, Nate? Actually, I used to almost kick Nate in my sleep. I used to almost elbow him too in the mornings. He used to try to say goodbye to me in the mornings. I'd almost elbow him. Okay, so let's do some knife hand strikes. Basic knife hand strikes. So I'm going to go over here, okay? I'm going to start with this. This is called a Junbi stance, ready stance. We're going to keep our feet about shoulder width apart, right? And this is a Junbi position with just our fists kind of in front. I'm just going to start that way. But, so what I'm going to do is we're going to step forward. I'm going to step forward with my right foot or left foot. No, we always start with the left out. So I'm going to step forward with the left foot into a short stance or a walking stance. And to do the knife hand strike before we do a knife hand strike, you're going to pull it up like this. Pull this striking hand up like this. Oh, keep your palm open, right? You can keep your hand fairly relaxed when it's up here. Just remember, you need to tense up for the actual technique when you strike the target. And this hand can go over here, like this, because it's not going to really do anything. So the motion is your non-attacking arm, the fist, will go to your hip, while this one comes out for the attack. And you're going to aim for the side of the neck. And also, actually, before we do the walking drills, also, so we're going to aim for the side of the neck. So again, here's the motion. And you'll notice that also too, when we do the motion, I'm going to pull, turn back a little bit, and then as I go forward, turn into the technique. And use your hips to turn into the technique, right? Okay, so side of the neck. And also, unlike the middle block, even open hand middle block, it's about like this, it's like 90 degrees. For the knife hand strike, you're going to extend, but don't lock your elbow. You want to keep your elbow slightly bent, but you're going to extend for your target. And again, on the other side, same thing. Other side, you can do this, come out for your target, right? And if you want more power in your hand techniques, yes, you use your hips and you turn as far back as you can and then turn in at the same time. You want to do that. And this way, this one again, same thing. And try to keep the motion about as linear as possible. Don't actually come around like that. You want to keep it straight line. So the difference I've discovered in Taekwondo and some of the other martial arts, like maybe Kung Fu, is Taekwondo uses the straight line idea. Everything has to be along a straight line in some way. So even like with the hook kick that I showed earlier, straight line, but then pull across to make an arc. It's still a straight line. You're still going from this point to this point and then that point to that point. Nice simple concept. This is actually one of the things that drew me to Taekwondo, the idea of being on a straight line, because everybody knows the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Or if you don't know that, you should know that. That's actually pretty basic math. Is that basic math? Yeah, it's basic math theory. So the knife hand strike, again, try to make it as straight a line as possible. Don't come out. It's the same thing with your punches. Straight line. You don't, unless you're doing a hook punch, but even a hook punch is still not, it's not like, okay, so let's practice some knife hand strikes. We're down here, and let's just step forward, and we're in a knife hand strike position here like this. So these walking drills are good for you to get used to moving in three-dimensional space and to make sure you don't have two left feet when you're doing certain things in martial arts. You won't trip over your feet. So we're here like that. Now I'm going to do the next one. Hana. 2. Set. Net. Dasa. Yasa. Ilga. Yura. Aho. And you. And we can step backwards and do the knife hand strikes. But when we step backwards, I'm going to be stepping with my left foot. My left foot will go backwards. But I'm going to be using my right hand to do the knife hand strike. So step backwards, do that, and that. Tana. 2. Set. Net. Dasa. Yeah, it's a little low. Yasa. Ilga. Aho. Yo, I feel like I missed a count.
Wasn't really listening.
Okay, yeah, there we go. And Junbi. And if you want to relax, that's your standard knife hand strike. And the walking I was doing was basically a walking stance or a short stance. You can call it a walking stance or a short stance. Depends on the school. So basically, you step forward about one shoulder width, whatever is fairly relaxed for you to move. The other most basic Taekwondo stance is called a long stance or a front stance. And you're going to step forward to shoulder width length, bend your front knee over your toes, right? And the back foot, the heel should be on the ground for the back foot, and you should be square, facing square on the target, and you should be fairly stable. So if I was doing this in real life, and I've done this in real life, when I'm teaching this stance in real life, I will walk up to the student and push them on the shoulder to see if they fall over or if they wobble. If you wobble too much, then the stance is not, then you're not quite doing the stance right. You want to feel as grounded and firm as possible, and I actually think I'm not wide enough for mine. That's better, because I can feel it. And your hips should be pointing straight forward. That's your long stance. So you can also do these kinds of drills, these hand technique drills, in a long stance as well, to get used to it. And the long stance is in the most basic Taekwondo pattern. Right. Okay, that's just a sample. You can also do your blocks as well. So let me take a quick break. I'm gonna get some water. All the talking is actually what makes me more thirsty than the martial arts. Generally when I've been in training, consistently training, I generally don't drink water for an hour and a half or an hour. I mean, most of my classes were like an hour. I never really drank a lot of water during class. Usually you should be able to survive an hour of training without drinking water, as long as you're well hydrated before you start training. Same thing with runs. I used to go for runs, mile run. Didn't really need water until after the run. Kicking in bed sounds unpleasant. Maybe for the person next to me, but I was fine. Water discipline, yes. You just kind of, your body gets used to it over time, I think, is what it is. Like, you know, so I used to go for runs and just get a drink afterwards. And same with martial arts, I would just drink some water after an hour of class, and then if I'm taking the next class, I used to just have a sip of water and just continue the next class. I used to do some crazy stuff when I was a color belt. I used to do like 3 hours of Taekwondo, 5 days a week, and then the 6th day was a Saturday, and I used to go in Saturday morning for the demonstration team practice, which is kind of like, why am I up this early? And I never understood how my instructor, we went out for a movie night until like 4 a.m. and then he was at the dojang at like 9 a.m. in the morning to help coach us with the demonstration team. I like, then again, I have taken a class of Taekwondo on 4 hours of sleep before. Wasn't really the best thing to do, I think, but I needed to take the class. Anyways, so what was I gonna do then? What should we do? I was thinking, oh yeah, knife hand strikes. I'm gonna show you another, do you want to do this one? You want to do this one, or should I teach you ridge hand? Now I'll do this knife hand strike, and then I'll teach you a new hand technique called a ridge hand, which actually ended up being, it's weird, it's so weird for me. Ridge hand is kind of a scary technique to do, because if you do it wrong and you hit something like 3 pine boards or concrete and you do it completely wrong, you could shatter like the bones in your hands. But I don't know, as I got higher up in Taekwondo, I actually really like the ridge hand as a technique, but you know, you have to make sure you do that one properly. Bad sirens, thank you, Nick. Wait, 158 bad sirens? There's going to be more in the summer again. So first thing, I will quickly demonstrate the other knife hand strike. So the first knife hand strike, I'll just stand here actually, wait, can you see my feet? Okay, we'll stand here. I'll show width apart, knees relaxed. So we showed this knife hand strike already, right? Okay, so the other knife hand strike comes like this. And again, we're aiming for the neck. Yes, technically, Nate, with the knife hand strikes, you can aim for the temple, but that's quite deadly to do. I don't recommend doing knife hand strikes on the side of the head, the temple, because it's a more deadly technique, and it's quite possible you'll seriously hurt somebody or even kill them. So this is why I'm teaching knife hand strikes to the neck. Okay. A lot of hand techniques in Taekwondo are kind of reserved for black belts and up, because I think the premise is that students that reach that level in Taekwondo are going to be intelligent and mature enough to realize that these techniques can be deadly if used on certain parts of the body, and they won't do it without necessary cause. And hopefully you never need to. I honestly hope people don't need to defend themselves. Okay? I really hope that. I don't want to shatter my hands, but I want to. It's a fun technique, Melon. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to do. I gotta register those hands as weapon. That's good to know. Yeah, gotta register those hands as weapon. Yes, yeah. Yes, please don't take my weapons away from me. There's a funny story, by the way, about this. One of my instructors, one of my friends, he actually has a Hapkido school now in Toronto. And there's this funny story when he went to go visit Korea, okay? So he was visiting Korea, but he had a cane with him, right? And I can't remember if he was boarding the plane to get to Korea or come back or whatever. But either way, he was boarding the plane and he had a cane in his hand, right? And he's like, la 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 la. But the guy at the airport looks at him and he says, Hapkido? And so my instructor just kind of like didn't think about it. He's like, yeah, Hapkido. So the guy said, no, you can't take that cane on the plane with you. Go check it. And he's like, so he comes back and tells us the story. He's like, oh my god, I shouldn't have said that. Because it's Korea, South Korea. They know, oh, what you can do with a cane. I just thought it was awesome. I'm like, oh my god, girl, what'd you do? Awesome story. Yeah. So in South Korea, the people there, they know what you can do with various things and how to use various things as a weapon. So it was actually really funny when you told me that story. I'm like, okay, good to know. I'll just pretend I'm Yoda, okay? This is my cane. I have a bad knee. I'm innocent. I won't do anything, and I don't know Hapkido. I actually know only a little bit of Hapkido, but he knew quite a lot of Hapkido at the time. I think he was close to black belt level in Hapkido. I'm just like Yoda. I'm completely innocent. Anyways, okay, so knife hand strikes. So knife hand strikes. Let's just do it like this, because I'm tired of walking now. So knife hand strikes. So we're going to bring your attacking hand just up here like this, and you can't turn your hand all the way, but turn it as much as you can. Keep your open hand, right? And this one can go here if you want, right? This non-attacking hand can just go here. Make a fist if you want, and it's going to go to your hip. So you're just going to go like that. If you're like that. But remember, if you want power, you're going to turn your hips. So like that. And you'll notice that even though I'm standing in this very kind of relaxed stance, I will be turning. I turn my foot for that technique. So again, like that. And this movement too will helps you with the power and force behind it. And then the other one, you want to do the same thing as well. You want to do this one, so you're going to go like that. This one feels... Why does this one feel sloppier than the other one, Nate? I don't know. Anyways, so that's your basic... what are we calling this knife hand strike? It's just like reverse... It's not a reverse knife hand strike. It's like... I mean, they're two different knife hand strikes. Those are two different knife hand strikes. I forget which one. Like this one we just normally call knife hand strike. And this one, I'm not entirely sure what we call it. At some point, you know what? At some point I will look up the Korean terms for everyone. Speaking of, I do have a Discord for Taekwondo. Streamlabs should be popping it up occasionally. There's some Taekwondo videos on there. I've posted my streams on there, my past podcasts on there. There is a playlist of Taekwondo Pumse, which is not done by me. They were official Pumse patterns from Kukiwan, I believe, but somebody else on YouTube put them on his channel, and I've had it on a playlist for a few years now. So there's two different playlists for Taekwondo patterns. One is just showing the Taekwondo pattern and how to do it, and the other Taekwondo pattern playlist includes applications with some of the techniques from the patterns. Those are also in my Discord. At some point I will probably post something. I'll post a document with Taekwondo terminology for people because I really should be using more Taekwondo terminology. I'm basically using the Taekwondo terminology that we used back in Toronto, and we didn't use a lot of it. We used some of it, and there are Korean names for the techniques, so I don't remember the Korean name for that. Do you remember, Nate? I feel like it. No, that's not right. I'll look it up later. I'm gonna have to look this up and post it. Anyway, so ridge hand. Now the ridge hand technique, which was I was saying that as I got more advanced in Taekwondo, I really liked the ridge hand. And in fact, I did that same instructor that was on the plane with his cane and said he did have keto and had to go check his cane. He also was doing a ridge hand on concrete. Okay, which is why I was saying, yeah, this is how I know you can possibly break your wrist if you don't do the technique properly. He, however, did the technique properly, didn't break his hand. Quite impressive, actually, when he did the ridge hand on it, on the concrete. But anyway, so ridge hand. So the reason why you can hurt yourself with a ridge hand. So remember open hand and how I said to form the knife hand? You open our hands, curl, you keep your fingers tight, you curl the tips. Okay, for ridge hand, you're not even going to bother with that. You're just going to tuck the thumb over here, like this. You can keep your fingers tight here. Don't need to curl the tips really. You're going to tuck your thumb like this. So it's going to be like that. And you're going to tuck your thumb like that because we are going to use this part of the hand, to break the board. Well, whatever. Don't have to break boards. But this is what you're going to use to contact your target. So, and the thumb has to be tucked here. So basically, they're saying that if you break the break the bones here, you could shatter your whole hand. Because your hand actually has smaller muscles. Muscles. Why am I saying muscles? Smaller bones. There are smaller bones in your hand here. I forget that anatomy term for those bones, but there's small bones in your hand here in the wrist. So this is your ridge hand, and so you wanna hit the target. You wanna hit the target like this. And remember, you're not gonna hit the target with your fingers at all, but keep your fingers tight. If you keep your fingers tight, it keeps your whole hand tense for the actual attack. So, and generally, a ridge hand comes straight out like this, like that. So you wanna go. Yeah, my fingers were a little loose. So again, you want to do this, tuck in, and you want to hit this way. That's your ridge hand. And so with the other hand, the ridge hand, again, same thing. And tuck the thumb in here like this. Keep your fingers tight. And tuck your thumb. Oh, the tip of my finger just bent on its own. Okay, keep your fingers tight, tuck your thumb in. So we are going to do this one. So again, I'm going to hit the target with that. So you want to go, that wasn't as good. Funny enough, my left hand is stronger than my right hand, so even if that was a crappy one, it sounded about the same. So again, you want to hit about there, like that. And again, so like I said, you want to make sure you do this technique properly, or you could break the bones in your hand. Luckily, I've never done that. It's a little red, actually. I don't know. Might be a little red there, but it's fine. So that's your knife. That's your ridge hand, and basically your ridge hand. So you're gonna come from here with your ridge hand, and you're gonna go on a pretty much a straight line. I would say go on a straight line. Some people do this. You can. I don't like it. Yeah, you don't like that one either, eh? You don't like the arcing ridge hand. I don't like this arcing ridge. But you know, when he was when that other guy was doing the ridge hand on a concrete, the concrete's on the ground, so you can kind of go. I think he went down like that to do ridge hand on concrete. I still feel like that arcing motion, I feel like doing that arcing motion, you're losing some power on the way, like going up and then coming back down. So I don't like doing the arcs, I like the straight line motions. So for the ridge hand, I'll do it like this, right? And just go straight up. So you can actually turn back. So you can turn back as much as you want, come out, and across. Slightly across. Right? And you want to go, and you know, a lot of times with the martial arts techniques, you want to go through with the technique, you want to follow through with the techniques if you want to apply as much power, like according to how much power you want to apply. So the more follow through you have, the more power you're going to apply to your technique. But remember that if you follow through too much, you could throw yourself off balance, which is never, in my mind, never a really good thing from a self-defense perspective. I wouldn't want to do that necessarily. But that being said, it's all up to you as a person to judge how much power you want to apply to your technique. Do you want to risk sacrificing some of your balance, or do you want to just apply the power? So again, you can do this. So you can turn back, but definitely turning back at the beginning won't really throw you off balance too much. Turn back, turn into the technique, right? And I should actually be turning my back foot. Turn your back foot. So you can turn your back foot and bend your front knee, and that will give you more power. Hopefully without sacrificing too much of your balance. So again, you can do that. Okay, so that is the ridge hand. Okay, you can practice that technique. Make sure, like I said, when you contact the target, make sure that's when you tense up, tighten up your hand. Otherwise, I think that's it for today. It's been almost an hour and a half. And so I hope that was exciting today. We did some intermediate techniques. We did side kick, we did a hook kick, we did back kicks. I showed you, ignore that demo for the spinning hook kick. I've done better ones. I actually have videos on YouTube, not on YouTube. I have videos on like Google Photos somewhere. So side kicks, hook kick, back kick. At some point we will do some spinning hook kicks. I need to get better, I'm out of practice. And some hand techniques. We did a normal knife hand strike, and this other knife hand strike. I'll call it palm down for now until I figure out with the official one. And a ridge hand. And so hopefully those are some new interesting techniques for everyone. And I will, alternate. Some days we'll do some advanced techniques, some things I haven't shown yet, and I will always try to go back and review some of the basic stuff as well. Don't forget about your front snap kicks, your basic front kicks, straight up, basic front kick, straight up, extend, back down. That's your basic front kick. Basic front kick, straight up, and back down. If you get good at flexibility, basic jumping front kick can also be a really good defensive technique. Jump, kick them in the chin. Anyways, so let's see. You can kill people with a pencil. Oh, Tony, I'm not gonna do that. But have you seen, what is it, Chronicles of Riddick? Is it Chronicles of Riddick, Nate? It was, wasn't it? Death by Teacup. I think it was Chronicles of Riddick. That was awesomely funny, okay? I gotta admit. Okay, again, I don't condone violence. I really do not condone violence, people. Be nice to everyone. Hopefully you never have to use self-defense. Hopefully you never have to defend yourself against an attacker. I don't think that's a situation anybody ever really wants to be involved in. There's also, and that being said, no matter how much training you have in any kind of self-defense discipline, or even just some other self-defense stuff that maybe not be martial arts based, no matter how much self-defense you know, there's also a psychological element when you're being attacked by somebody. There's always that, and your body, has that fight or flight response. And it's hard to control that. Some people act on adrenaline and they may get lucky. I have heard of a story of a woman who got attacked before. She was dragged back down into the subway from behind. First she thought it was a joke, and then she realized somebody had a knife at her neck, and her fight and flight response was she somehow managed to grab the guy's arm, pulled it away from her neck, and run away. She got lucky. Not everyone will get that lucky, no matter how much you know. So a lot of this for self-defense is a mental game. You gotta be able to control the fight or flight response, and that's hard. Even who wrote On Combat, Nate? Some guy that was a soldier? There's a book called On Combat that I have not read yet, but I think I've seen reviews and I've read the premise of it, and it was written by somebody who was a soldier, and he basically points out it doesn't matter what your training is, that it's hard to control your emotional responses sometimes, and your psychological state can affect everything that happens to you. And that being said, even if you come out of something like being attacked or mugged or whatever, you're still going to have a lot of other issues to deal with. So martial arts can help you at least feel confident, but also remember to use your brains. Number one thing. Let's go rate somebody. On that note, we will go rate somebody. And thank you all for being here. I hope everybody stays safe. Not just with COVID, but in general. I hope everyone stays safe in life. And we were going to rate somebody. I watched John Wick again this weekend. Oh, is that... Did he? Somehow I don't remember that. Which... Was that the first movie? Oh dears. Did you ever watch, I like to call this one Mr. Stabby Stabby. That's the, what was it called? Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen. Gerard Butler, every time he gets attacked by a guy with a knife, he just takes the knife and stabs him with it. See you later. Alright, let's figure out a rate, everyone. You guys can keep chatting. I don't get me wrong, I like watching those movies. I just don't condone violence in real life. But it is kind of amusing watching some of these things. You know, a lot of times when I watch like martial arts movies or action movies, I don't see the violence, and it is violent, don't get me wrong. But I sometimes just focus on like the techniques that people are using, and nowadays I think Hollywood in general with movies have gotten better at using really interesting martial arts techniques in the movies and shows. Okay, there's quite a few people in this category, but let me see. Oh, you know, what do we want to, let me see. Let's go rate somebody. Let me just check. I see some people on it still. I see some people. There's a lot of people in this category. Okay, anybody started after I did because I don't want to risk people going offline. Well, I guess it doesn't matter as if they raid or something. Maybe that's cool too. I'm not sure what these people are doing. But why is she not in? Let's just check this. I'm just gonna check this stream. I'm in an ad though. It's fine. We are gonna rate somebody. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to decide if I want to rate somebody new or if I just rate somebody I already know. What's this? Who's this person? There's somebody doing boxing. What does she do normally? Well, I guess she plays games too, which is cool. Oh, okay, yes, Nate. Thank you, Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna try this. Okay, we're gonna try something new. I mean, she already has a lot of people watching already, but I guess it doesn't hurt to say hi. But I will do some shout outs. Let me catch up on chat. Let me catch up on chat. Jackie Chan uses great. Yes, he does. He does use great techniques. Also, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Tony Jaa, for Muay Thai is really good. And I also remembered watching the movie Chocolate from Thailand. It starred Jija Yanin. I think it was Jija Yanin. Is that how you say her name? I would say Jija Yanin is the like a female Jackie Chan, but I think she's still in some movies now, but she's just awesome. She moves like Jackie Chan. She's a female version of Jackie Chan, honestly. She was in a movie called Chocolate. It was a Thai movie. And basically she kind of learned martial arts by watching movies. It was funny, like the character in the movie. So first of all, before I go, we're going to do some shout-outs. I'm going to do a shout-out for Isa Pavarti Yoga, I think is her. And yeah, she's currently streaming some yoga. You can feel free to check her out. She's actually really nice. She's German. She speaks German, I think. I think she moved from Germany to the UK. She's really nice, and she has a nice chill yoga stream. And also I'm going to shout out somebody else who's doing, he's a nice guy. He's actually German too, apparently. But he seems pretty chill and cool. And he's been doing some resistance band training for strengthening exercises. You can check him out as well. He also plays some cool games. And so I'm going to say bye-bye for now. And thank you all for coming by. I might, my next scheduled stream will be on Thursday afternoon around 3 p.m. Central European Time, GMT +1. And I'll be doing non-monolingual and multicultural and probably some more Japanese on Lingodair and something on Duolingo. I haven't decided yet. And the raid... Oh, yeah, I don't know if everyone got my Discord for the Taekwondo Discord. Discord TKD is that. That's my Taekwondo Discord. Again, there's my Twitter channel. Sorry, my Twitter page. And YouTube. I will be posting this broadcast on YouTube 24 hours later. According to, will be posted 24 hours later after I end the stream. And so we are going to rate somebody who... I don't know. Let's see if I get the name right. She already has quite a few people watching her right now, but we'll just rate, say hi, say everyone say NinjaBot raid, and say hi, how are you? I guess she's just doing some boxing or some basic strength training. I think she was doing squats and then she's doing some boxing. She seems to be talking right now. So just say NinjaBot raid, and thank you all for popping in. It's so nice to see people pop in, and Thanks for hanging out with me. I might be on again later tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. But next scheduled stream, like I said, is Thursday afternoon. And hopefully I will see you all then. So I'm gonna raid and put the end scene on. Oh, I can't do the end scene on. Yes, of course. Oh, hold on. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. I can't do the end scene from here. Melon, you're awesome. Yes, of course. End scene on, everyone. Right now. I think the right now is ready. Okay, right now, everyone.